I'm Jyneration, the generator. You're on Jyneration Nation, LRS102.com. The Walrus. I'm so excited because not only do I have my soul brother, Nick Payne, my Kentucky Beatniks brother, up in the house with me. Hi.
Earthlings.
Earthlings, we're here. And I brought your rose quartz and set them all over my electronics.
Yes.
We have the Troubadours of Divine Bliss on today to kick off my birthday week.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Yeah, and I thought it was only appropriate because you wrote one of the songs on their record, and I recorded drums on their record.
Yeah.
We've both known them forever.
We're like Troubadour super fans.
We are. We're Bliss Fits, as we call them. Yeah. And I've got so much to say to them because out of all the people in this community, they are the ones that show up exactly when I need them to. Yeah. Always, magically. They are magical creatures on this planet to us.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped to get to talk to them about everything. Throughout the years, they've been there with me through every girlfriend, every disaster gig. They just magically show up in the parking lot somewhere and like, bless you, little soul, and give me a mama hug.
Yes.
Yeah. If I could marry them both, I would. I said that earlier.
They are angels.
They are angels, yes. So we're excited because out of everybody, you probably know them better than me. You know what I mean? You're the super duper fan.
I've been blessed to receive a lot of love from them over the years, for sure.
Yeah.
And I've stalked them and driven out of state to go hear them play
right.
at random little places.
We don't call it stalking. We call it love.
But it's good stalking.
It's borderline crazy, but
it's
what artist
totally
isn't?
good stalking.
Right.
Yeah, no
There's
negative
good stalking.
connotations.
Right. Yeah. There's levels of stalking,
yes.
we should say. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm the same. I will stalk those chicks anywhere they go. I mean, they are love and light and
soul
some
stalker.
Of the, soul stalker. Yeah, I like that. The double S to the second power.
I stalk the soul, man.
Squared.
That's what I'm looking for in all the music that I love. You got to have the soul, or
it doesn't matter, right? I mean,
rock and roll, baby.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always loved about the Troubs is not only are they some of the most brilliant artists out there, they have this magical way about them to bring people together for the greater of good and change the world. That's who they are. And that is their gift to us.
Yeah.
And the fact that they live on the land, they do what they do, they travel the world, they go overseas on these crazy trips and have these amazing stories.
Yeah.
But they're also some of the best songwriters and talents.
Yeah.
Of the LGBTQ community,
crazy.
and everywhere I've ever been, those women stick out. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the earlier Troubadour albums are so, it shows such a range of artistry and instrumental technique.
Yeah.
And
creativity.
Renee just dreamed of playing the accordion. She didn't play the accordion. She wasn't taught how to do that. And Amy just kind of picked up the guitar and started finding chords by ear.
Right.
I would ask her, "Hey, what are you playing there?" And she's like, "I have no idea what
That's
chords
why I
this
love
is."
them. They're like, I don't know.
But
what's counting?
The music was so rich and intricate, and it covered all these stories and all these emotions. And it's beautiful to hear them still doing that on their newer albums. Bringing a lot of depth and a lot of different stories for us to all have something to identify with.
Yes, I agree with you. And I've been wanting to interview them for so long. So how ironic that over a year and a half later, here we are, my birthday week, kicking it off with my favorite people ever, some of the best people in this world. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to kick it off with one of my favorites from the record that I got to play on, which was I Sing of Love, which was highly reggae influenced. And, when I was in the studio with them in Asheville earlier this year, they were really open to receiving ideas. I was like, let's put spoons on this, or can I put a washboard here, and on this one, I remember going back and going, well, man, if we want reggae, we've got to have that offbeat ska, which is usually on a guitar. Yeah. But I was like, let's do it on a tambourine and see how it sounds. And it just made it gel so good. And I really love this track. And we're going to kick it off.
Upbeat.
Something on the upbeat, on the ands. Yeah, so ska guitar. There's only two things that you really need for reggae. One is it's in halftime, which means it's counted on the three. Everything in reggae is about count three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you also have to have the offbeat ska.
Yes. Hey, y'all, if you're listening and you don't know, Jen gives drum lessons virtually online.
I do. Thanks for the plug.
Yeah, just plug
Jyneration Studios.
That's what
Check
I'm
it
here
out.
for.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm
I
your
appreciate
Baba
you.
Booey today.
You are. You're my wingman. I love it. All right.
You're Andy Richter.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We're going to spin this track, and then we're going to go live with the Troubadours of Divine Bliss here on LRS102.com. I am Jen Yates with Nick Payne.
So stalking you.
Yes. It's I Sing of a Love.
I've been free, been a slave. I've been fighting, I've been brave. Always you were the peace I was seeking. I've been tired, I've been mighty. I surrendered, I fought for me. And always you were the courage. Rising, sing of a love, I sing of a love, sing of a love, I sing of a love. Love that spins this universe, faithful and true. Sing of a love, sing of a love, sing of a love, I sing of a love. Love that's always standing in the doorway of my soul to welcome me home. I've been a trickster, woman wise. I've been blind, unveil my eyes. Always you were the path under my feet. I've been a stranger, felt so close. Been the thorn, opened into a rose. Always you were the fragrance, so sweet. Sing of a love, sing of a love, sing of a love. I sing of a love. Love that spins this universe, faithful and true. Sing of a love, sing of a love, sing of a love. I sing of a love. Love that's always standing in the doorway of my soul to welcome me home. Oh yeah, 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 mama, yeah, yeah. Oh my, yeah, yeah, mama, na 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 na, yeah, mama. Love before me, love behind me, love below me, love above me. So much love to be found from the heavens to the earth and all around. Love before me, love behind me, love below me, love above me. So much love to be found from the heavens to the earth and all around. I've stretched east, I've reached west, search for the answer, singing a quest. And always, you were my destination. I've been cold, set by your fire. I've been thirsty, quench my desire with your holy water. You called home your daughter. Sing of a love, sing of a love, sing of a love. I sing of a love, love that spins this universe, faithful and true. Sing of a love, sing of a love, sing of a love. I sing of a love, love that's always standing in the doorway of my soul. I sing of a love, I sing of a love, sing of a love, I sing of a love, love that's so much universe, from the heavens to the earth and sing of a love, sing of a love, sing of a love. I sing of a love, love that's always standing in the doorway of my soul to welcome me home.
Yeah, that's the Troubadours of Divine Bliss. I Sing of a Love here on LRS102.com. The Walrus. I'm Jen Yates, your host, the Generator, Jyneration Nation, and I'm so thankful to have the Troubs on the line. How are you doing, ladies?
Oh, we're so thrilled to be with you. And may we say that Jen Yates was featured on drums on that track, and she kicked arse.
Thank you. We put the gay and reggae, as you would say. I love it. Yes, I'm so thankful, Troops, to be on that record. That was one of my favorite experiences ever. Not only was it Valentine's Day weekend with you all and Randy Brewer and everybody else, but I got to bring my mom to her first recording studio experience with me and spend the weekend of Valentine's Day with my mom.
And your mom is just love her. She's from Mama.
Yeah, Mom is cool, man. And she came from a very small town. She had never been in a studio quite like that. It was a beautiful church. She's a church lady. She loved every second of it. And she loves the record. She spins it all the time. Yeah.
And, she's your biggest fan. We're all vying to be your biggest fan, but that mom is your biggest fan, and I know you're hers.
Ah, that's so sweet. She is my biggest fan. She even had like back surgery and was in a wheelchair during my marching band state performances when I was in marching band in high school. Yeah. And I remember them wheeling her out. Like, she's traveled across the world to come to some of my best gigs. Nashville. She flew down to Key West, and we got to play on the ocean. And it was really cool. Just Mom's groovy. Yeah, I was blessed with a great mom.
Your bond is evident, and we were so blessed to witness it and have her present with us. And what a great experience that was, recording that album like that. Out.
Are you there? Did I lose you?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's cutting out. Y'all are probably up in the country, in the woods somewhere, if I know y'all.
Up in the woods.
Oh, we are. We had so much fun making that album with you, Jen, and it was amazing how it just flowed so smoothly and so quickly.
Yeah, and I have to say this. I mean, I love an emotional track. I know Nick Payne does too. I know you all do too, because y'all can write and pull your heartstrings out more than anybody I know. But when I was recording some of those tracks in the studio, especially the Fly With Me track, I was literally in there like crying my eyes out. They didn't know this. I've got my headphones on. I'm in a room by myself, and I'm trying to like not have snot rolling down my face so that it's captured with, I had like 30 microphones around me, so if I even breathe, it captures it.
Yeah.
But this record in particular is so beautiful. It makes me cry. It really does. I mean, it just touches my soul. The one about getting married, I'm like, woo, 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 woo. Jeez. Yeah, it's a beautiful record. So kudos to you all for writing that.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. And again, thank you for being such a wonderful, inspiring part of it. And
well, speaking of
bringing the heart out of it, right?
Yeah, and heartstrings. I tell you what, I've cried my way about through Paradoxes, written by Nick Payne, that we got to record on that album.
That's right.
And to me, that song is like one of the most heart-opening and wrenching songs on the CD. It's just such a wonderfully written song, and we were so honored to record one of Nick Payne's brilliant songs.
Original songs. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Nick Payne, also one of those artists. We're going to spin that track later. Yeah.
I can't. There's no words for that. Thank you all so much. It's an honor for me.
Nothing else. Why'd you write that song, Nick? And why did you all pick that song to go on the record, Troops? I've got two different questions.
Well, to be real, this record was produced by a supporter, and he basically chose all the tracks. And people are requesting for us to record Paradoxes because people really respond to that song. They really love it. I mean, it's just, to me, it's one of the most powerful breakup songs there is. And he requested all of the songs that went on the CD, and that was one of them.
And we were thrilled that he did, because so many people have been requesting a recording of that for so long, so it just was like in perfect timing.
Divine timing, we were just talking about this before you went on air with us. I said the Troobs in my life are the most magical people. Like you all, out of anybody, I don't even know if y'all know this, have been there with me through literally every girlfriend breakup, every disaster like gig. I was like, they just magically appear in a parking lot somewhere and give you a hug and say they love you, and
Troubadours, a mother.
Divine Bliss. We're on the ding, ding, ding. Oh. But yeah, y'all are just these magical creatures that we soul stalk. We were talking about that, and just man, the songs.
Thank you for that. Our hearts really are to be here and to serve other hearts, and to be open, to connect and exchange. And we're grateful for every opportunity to do that. But it goes both ways, because the heart's got to be opened on the other end. So that says tons about you all too, and how magical and open-hearted you are.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It gives us life to really be able to connect with someone. It makes life worth living, doesn't it?
Yes,
it does.
100%. And I'm very thankful and grateful every day when I wake up for the Troubadours of Divine Bliss and Nick Payne.
Yes.
Some of the most brilliant, just heartfelt people I've ever met.
Oh,
it's a love fest up in here today.
It is a love fest.
Yeah.
So I want to say that when I did write that song, it was such a sad moment in my life that it was kind of like all I could do was just write a song because there was nothing else to do.
Right.
But it was like, it was really thick, the sadness that I felt. And hearing the Troubs sing it over the years, I've heard them sing it live, and now on this recording, it's such an example of how something that hurt so deeply that you felt like you wouldn't make it past it, turns into this beautiful salve, and it's something that's holding you and something that makes you feel like you're not alone. But it sprang from a moment of complete and utter, loneliness and kind of hopelessness was what I was really feeling. And I've also been blessed that the Troubadours have put other words of mine to music and made some really awesome stuff in that way as well. So I have a really awesome, blessed relationship. They've nurtured me so much and helped me to write songs that maybe I needed a little nudge to get it out, and they've given me lots of assignments of divinement. Are y'all still dishing those out?
Oh yeah, and thank you for always reminding us that you're such a great reflection in our lives to help highlight those things and remind us. So thank you for that. And yes, we are, but we could always be doing that more. And the language around assignment of divinement, I think. Maybe we lost the language around that. We're still doing it, but I think now we can re-own that language. So thank you for that reminder, brother.
Yes, please keep it going. Keep it going. We all need it. And I think we give each other those nudges in little ways, but there's nothing like, y'all are such mentors and you have such a spirit of leadership in the way that you exhibit compassion. And so people look to you a lot for assignments of divinement. So just keep on doling them out, and we'll keep on.
Every time that we have, we do soul sessions with people, or even just talking to people when they need it, there's always an assignment of divinement in there, because you got to have something to move towards. You've got to have something to inspire yourself, and you've got to have something to kind of move yourself outside of a place that you're in. So those assignments of divinement are calling you up to your highest and best self and your truest love within. So they're always there.
And the thing is, we only share our experience. So we only share what's worked for us, and what works for us, and that's so that's where that comes from. And it's a blessing to have that reflection, brother. So thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you all so much. And you are offering one-on-one soul sessions, helping people out if they're maybe having a hard time processing maybe some spiritual things or some wounds.
Emotional, mental, this is a very creative. It's a mixture of life coaching, intuitive counseling,
and spiritual guidance.
Yes. So I'm sure myself and Jen, I know we've benefited from having those exchanges with you, and we would encourage everyone who's listening to reach out and have that experience with you all, because it's really invaluable. And you all are really invaluable to our community And we want to continue to nurture you and to be patrons of the love art that you create.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you.
I'm loving this
Thank
Love Fest.
But you can always tune in on Sunday nights with Bliss. That's youtube.com/Divine Bliss. Weekly gatherings, 7:00 Eastern.
Yes. We're big fans of that.
It's my favorite show. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I want to say this, too, Troobs, is out of everybody, when the COVID hit, everybody was like, how do we deal with this? How do we deal with this as artists? Because when we don't do what we need to do for our soul, then we go crazy, right? So all the artists were like, what do we do right now? Y'all figured it out right away. And have some of the best live Sunday videos, which I call church, of course.
The quality is on point.
On point. The audio is so dope. I mean, it's perfection.
And you both look amazing. Like you had Bette Midler's stylist team and makeup
Bob
in the background, just doing y'all up.
And I love the hats, too. I agree with everybody that's been posting on those live videos. Y'all need to display your hats in the back because you've got some of the best hats ever. I'm a hat lover.
Oh, thank you.
You know how we feel.
We call that hatitude.
Attitude. I love it. Oh, man. Well, I tell you,
it's really hard for people right now. We're all trying to figure out how to reinvent, and we're all peeling back all the layers. A lot of the familiar things are gone, so we're really seeing ourselves clearly, and we're also trying to kind of survive and navigate these times in safe and meaningful ways. So, from artists to essential workers, to teachers, to nurses, everybody is just trying to figure out these times. So we went to Sunday nights pretty immediately for ourselves, but also to just reach out. So community has a way to kind of connect, but also a way for us to kind of inspire, recharge, reboot, uplift everybody on a weekly basis so that we could all just kind of have a touchstone to...
I can't tell you how many times after I watched your show, then I went and started playing music, or I went and started recording my own video, So
it's
inspiring. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. That's perfect.
That's the prayer right there.
Yeah, everybody responds very well to positivity. I've noticed that. And I've noticed you all have taught me so much about myself, just changing the language, looking at things more from a positive standpoint, and believing and truly having faith that positive things will happen. And boom, they always do,
They do. Well, the universe really does respond. We found this after 25 years when we really took that leap to kind of trust spirit, trust the universe to kind of hold us and carry us if we promise to serve love. And we've been, held and supported in that space ever since. So it's proven. It's like a scientific method. It's quantum physics. It's the real deal. If you surround yourself, infuse yourself, and plant positivity and love inside, then it's inevitable that that's what you'll be surrounded by. Not that you won't meet negativity, but you'll have a place of positivity, of compassion, of love to come from, to be able to weather that storm and be able to weather that negativity.
And it's fun to expect the best that can happen instead of living in mediocrity and expecting the worst, So your journey is a lot more joy-filled when you are expecting the best and giving that opportunity to unfold.
Yeah, amazing. So, Troobs, I want to ask you a little bit about your story for those listening that don't know. How did each of you get your start playing music? Did you come from a musical family? I know some of the answers, but I want people out there listening to know.
Sure. Well, this is Renee, and Nene, I absolutely did come from a musical family. In fact, some of my earliest memories are sitting on my daddy's lap and while he played piano right between his arms there, while he was playing, singing, the crooning. He was a crooner, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, a lot of songs from the 30s and 40s as well. And so by first grade or second grade, we were riding down to Disney World, and he was already teaching me and my sister how to sing harmonies to Amazing Grace in the back seat. So I started, singing in church. I can remember being maybe 4 years old, going up on the platform singing my first solo, and everybody was kind of giggling. I think because they thought I was cute. I thought they were laughing at me, but that. So I ran down and I was like, oh my God, that was horrifying. But then I kept doing it. And obviously I've been doing it all these years, but music has been a part of my creative journey and my spiritual journey. It's always been something that's fed me and inspired me. I feel like it's something that turns a key in a lot of people's hearts and gets in a way that other forms of expression can't. And so for me, it's always just been instant medicine and balm. And and then Amy has that inspiration as well in her family.
My dad was actually kind of a country music lounge singer. Yeah, so he played old school. You'll love this, Jen. He played old school country.
Love it.
Like
that's my jam.
And Conway, and Dolly. And he actually sounded a lot like Kenny Rogers. So he would do a lot of Kenny Rogers. Ooh. And so he would practice at home for his gigs and in the Holiday Inn Lounge, wherever it was playing. And I was fascinated by it. So I was singing, "You Gotta Know When to Hold 'Em."
Yeah.
Know when to hold 'em. So I was his backup singer from early on and really, really loved it. But I was like, I spent so many hours in like my mom's gowns, roller skating in the basement, singing Donna Summers and Pat Benatar and Neil Sedaka and just singing and skating. So I just love music so much.
Can you tell us about one of your first performances when you entered the contest?
So my very first time really singing in public, other than with Renee in church, because when Renee and I met in the Pentecostal church in our early teens, we sang together and she taught me harmonies. But my first real time singing in public was in a gay bar in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah.
And it was drag night and they had a talent show. And I thought, talent show. I'll sign up and I'll just sing a cappella for the fun of it.
Yes.
Well, it's actually a drag talent show.
I'm gonna ding
all
for that.
Of these fabulous drag queens performing their elaborate, gorgeous performances, and then this young white girl getting out there singing Bonnie Raitt, "I Can't Make You Love Me."
I love it.
And I still did it. But I won. I won the contest.
Yeah! Hell yeah! Ding, 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 ding. Of course you did.
That's because you got it.
Yeah.
But I think they were being kind to me. But yes.
Did they think you were in drag? I'm just curious. Oh, that's a great story.
I was like, God, it's so realistic. It's crazy.
Great story. I love that. And I love that you were roller skating to Donna Summer. Meanwhile, your dad sounds like Kenny Rogers singing at the Holiday Inn Lounge. That's amazing. Great story.
Heck yeah. Music is just so much everywhere. I think that's why our influences are so diverse because we've just, there's the gospel and there's the bluegrass and there's the country and there's the disco and there's the rock and roll and there's the, blues. And it's just
literally everything.
We like it all. Yeah, we like it all. So it's just, we like to express it all.
Obviously. You got reggae on the new track. You got a lot of different styles going on there. One thing that I've always appreciated I was classically trained, but also not classically trained. I kind of rode that fine line. But the one thing I've always loved about y'all's music is there is no creative box with you all. Meaning, and we talked about this in the studio with the counting and the, timing out of things. It's why not put a bar at 2/4 right there, or maybe an extra 1/4 bar or something, you know what I mean? And the speed ups, the slow down tempos, you don't usually hear that in a lot of popular music, except for in musicals and things. So it makes the music very in depth, and it gives it way more character and way more creative aspect to
It's
it.
like
You know what I mean?
Classical component.
It
almost.
is a classical component, yes, of your music.
Well, thank you. That first of all, apologies to the drummer, right? Because what a nightmare.
I'm always like, wait, how many times do I need to repeat this part right here? Right, no.
It's like an unsolvable word problem in math, like we just have created. But I love that that you said like musicals, and because it's often we're writing not just about our stories but other people's stories, and they really do have that. For us, they take on that kind of life, and life is not a box. Life is breathing and walking and experiencing differently in every moment.
Life don't go to a click track.
That's right. Life don't go to a click track. Ooh. That needs to be our new jam together, our new we all need to write that song. Yeah. Remind me, I'm going to put that in my notes right now.
I think we did.
Life don't go to a click track. I love that. You're right, though. You're right. Drum machines have no soul, as they say, It's always...
There's something to holding down the groove too, and and in life, those are the times that we allow ritual and meditation and prayer time and things that are good for us to have those times too. So I think it's all around about the mix, having a little bit of it all in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break, and I want to spin Paradoxes, which is the new track off of Every Heartbeat that Nick Payne wrote that the Troubadours recorded on. And then I want to follow it up by, I'm going to pick one of my favorites, which is Dream to Wake, which is one of my favorites. And then we'll come back and do the second part of the interview after that. Sound good with you, ladies?
So as you're listening to this, imagine that this is our first take with the pianist playing this live.
Wow. Yeah, let's think about that. Yeah.
Take.
First take always. Yeah. We like one takers. Here it is. It's Paradoxes. The Troubadours of Divine Bliss off of Every Heartbeat, which you can find online
at troubadoursdivinebliss.com.
What's money for, not for spending? What's a broken heart if not for mending? Oh, you just don't know me anymore. What's a knife for, not for crying? What's a body for, not for dying? Oh, just don't know me anymore. Guess it's time I'll be moving on. Tomorrow morning I'll be gone. You won't know me. What's a cloud for, not for raining? What's a note for, not sustaining still? You just don't know me anymore. If you're crying more than you are smiling, God is telling you it might be time to go. Won't know me anymore. Guess it's time I'll be moving on. Tomorrow morning I'll be gone. You won't know me. can't get back all the flowers you gave me. I can't pretend that your bitterness doesn't faze me. All I needed was a friend and brother. What you're only trying to be a lover for. Just don't know me anymore. Now I'm slow and lazy packing boxes, crying over all the paradoxes. I can't believe you don't know me anymore. Guess it's time I'll be moving on. Tomorrow morning I'll be gone. You won't know me. Guess it's time I'll be moving on. Tomorrow morning I'll be gone. You won't know me. You won't know me anymore. is sinking. It's time to spend it. If your fabric is tattered, it's time to mend it. If your garden's overgrown, time to tend it. Caught up in a craze, lost in a daze, find your way out of the maze. I had to fall, so I could fly. I had to see, so I could find. I had to dive, so I could surface. I had to dream, so I could wake up. Oh, I had to fall, so I could fly. I had to see, oh, so I could find. I had to dive, so I could surface. I had to dream, so I could wake up. I had to dream, so I could wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up,
Wake up. Wake up.
wake up.
It's Dream to Wake. Yeah, the Troubadours of Divine Bliss. Every heartbeat here on LRS102.com. The Walrus. I want to talk about that song, Troobs. I love that, and I love that y'all just let me go crazy there at the end and give the big drummer ending. And when I first heard the lyrics of this song, I went, well, they've just sat here and written my life. I was on 65, like, wanting to leave Louisville, you know, being like, F the world. And then I hear this, and I'm like, well, that's me. That's me. We're on the path to divine awakening right now.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Time to get woke.
Dream Revival.
Right.
That
Time
song
to get
goes
woke.
back to the Dream Revival. I
Yeah.
remember y'all singing it for that.
Yeah. Why did you write that song?
Well, that song was all about
Is it a compilation
yeah,
of stories?
yeah. It's a compilation of stories, but it's about when you are when you're on the edge of the cliff. You know, when everything's been taken away from you, or when you find that you're asleep. It's time to have a dream for your life and to wake up from being asleep at the wheel of your own life.
Or being in a nightmare, you know, and
Yeah.
it's about, like, if you don't wake up, then things are going to shake up. That's, you know, so either you have a vision for your life and you wake up to it, or things are going to shake up and you're still going to end up shifting, but you might as well get ahead of the game there and wake up, you know.
That
Gosh.
first line was actually up with when I first picked up the guitar, that I started writing the song. Renee called me, and she was driving away from her life, and she was she had left her husband, who was abusive. He was having health issues, and so she was trying to save herself and save her soul, and so she started driving away from her life, and she was crying and talked to me, and she was on I-65, and I started writing this song on the phone, and so that lyric just stayed with us, but never really came into a song for a decade later. And then meeting people along the way with addictions and people who've lost their job and their livelihood, or who were in abusive relationships. Yeah. You know, when you have to make that decision, like, I'm not going to stay in this nightmare anymore. I need to wake up and reclaim my life. It's time to, take care of business. And so, that's what that song's about. Waking up, getting woke to your life.
I got cold chills during that story. I didn't know that. Wow. Y'all always just are so inspiring. Gosh, what a tragic thing, but what a classic song to capture that moment, because when I was, coming to record these songs with you, I'm going through that exact moment going, you know what, my life, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I have to change literally almost everything, and the people around me and my vision for what I want in a family later on. And this, because, life does kind of begin at 40, and I'm hitting my 40s right now. So I'm like, I don't know. That song was so inspiring to me, and I love it.
Oh, thank you. How old are you turning this week?
42.
42.
Yeah.
You know what to do when you're 42.
What do you do when you're 42? That rhymes.
You fall in love with you when you're 42.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I love about y'all is I have been searching for true love in a partner. And when I recorded that record with you all, I remember you all telling me in the studio during a listen back, you're like, we grant you true love. What is it that you want? You know, and we are granting you right now, no more heartbreak. True love is on its way. And I feel that. I feel it coming. And I think this, because I have to.
You're worthy of it, Jen.
Thank you. I know I'm worthy of it. I'm like, bring that shit on. And I also wanted to tell you this, and I'm sure you can relate, because I feel like true musicians and artists just get this. The music leads my life no matter what. Everything I go through, the music precedes it in a weird way. It was like when I was playing Rent, you know, then I was literally like about to be like, how am I going to pay my rent? Like everything in my life matches up with the music. So I feel like this is the first time in my career that I had gotten to be a part of such a beautiful, like heartfelt love album for me.
Wow.
That this is predating what's about to happen in the fall. I really feel that.
I like that. We believe.
I believe too. I believe, and I have faith, and I'm like, bring it on, God. It's a coming.
Make it happen.
Right. So I'm going to keep thinking positive, just like you talk about. I woke up at some point, you know, earlier in the year, I had a major like come to God moment where I spoke to God and was like, this is exactly what I want. You know, you have to bring it to me. I will not take no for an answer kind of thing. So yeah. And the troops are always right there, right on time. Magical creatures, as I call you.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit. Y'all have literally traveled the world. You have a beautiful story. You're partners for life, right? And I love that. Everything about you. In fact, that what was the one about Will You Marry Me? That song. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because that one really moves me when I listen to it.
Well, thank you. That is actually some vows that we wrote to each other spontaneously when we were out and traveling the world, and we kept them alive and started, you know, repeating them to each other, if not every day, as you know, so often. And we shared those vows in a ceremony that we had before we could make everything legal. And it is, you know, the purest way and most poetic way to just say, every single moment I'm renewing my vows. Every single moment I am, you know, renewing this commitment and this devotion. So, you know, we started out as best friends when we were 13 or 15. And so we had this wonderful foundation of friendship, of respect, and being inspired by each other. So that's huge when you can, you know, start and have that foundation.
Yeah.
And then when you're both on the same kind of spiritual and creative path, then it's just limitless. It really is, yeah. And so that, you know, every heartbeat, literally, you know, that's the title track to the album, and it just really is just with every beat of the heart, just you know, in gratitude, renewing, and in devotion, renewing those vows.
Wow. I got cold chills again. Yeah.
What we try to say to each other, which is a really nice thing to say to anyone in your life, truly is, how can I love you better? How can I be more kind? And, you know, you could say that to yourself. You could say that to your best friend, to your parents, to your family, to those who you have a hard time connecting with or being, you know, loving toward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a really good mantra. It's a really good question to keep in your relationship, for sure too.
Yeah. That's one thing that I've always loved about you two, is that I knew you were partners from early on, and we've done all these gigs for the LGBTQ community around Louisville and surrounding areas. And we always meet up somewhere along the way. And I just was like, wow, they're so committed and faithful like that and devoted to each other. I love that. It really is inspiring. It's inspiring to me.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
We are honoring the gift, you know. I mean, we are truly honoring the gift. We can't not. I mean, what a beautiful thing to have been given. And so it was funny because when we first got together,
I remember one of my brothers said, "Oh, it's just chic to be lesbian right now."
It's chic to be lesbian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Y'all
we're
are two of the best.
chic 25 years later. Yeah. So, and we've been able to over 25 years, and this is just our experience. It was much harder for people before us, and even further back. I mean, it's amazing to watch this transformation of pretty much mainstream acceptance of the LGBTQ lifestyle, and it's beautiful to watch that continually evolve and watch people's hearts open more and more, in regards to racism, in regards to gender identity, the transgender community. It's we are evolving. I know it seems really hard sometimes because you feel that pushback, of where people are just still so stuck in their hearts and in their souls. But don't ever forget, we're moving forward and there's no turning
100%.
back.
100%.
We
yes.
are. I think nowadays we have this option of being represented as LGBTQ AI plus people in a beautiful and a loving, compassionate way, in loving stories. I know that you two have really cultivated that in my life. I came from a lot of trauma of, people being very homophobic and growing up with that. And
all of you all are from the Pentecostal church.
Yeah.
And my family too. So we all four are from that.
Of course, the church component too, feeling a separation there, feeling because I think we feel that, if you go into a church and the pastor is condemning something really strongly or something like that, you just can almost like feel the lack of the presence of God in that. And when I first had met you all and sat, I would sit as close up to you as I could get and just bawl my eyes out the whole time that you were singing. And it really was, it was what you were singing, and it wasn't. But it was just the love that, you were willing to allow to come through and to share with one another, and to share so openly, and to share with such purity and integrity. And that spreads into all of your connections, everyone that you make friends with. You cultivate that over and over again. And we see it if we come to your shows and we see people who always show up, or even some of your old fans from back in the day who maybe have moved away, or, maybe we don't see them as much, but they've been changed. And it's like you've helped to shift the definition of love for so many people.
Truth.
Yeah,
Truth.
LGBT and otherwise. But I just want to say thank you for, being that positive role model of what
Trailblazers, man.
Lifelong relationships should be encouraged. I missed you all singing that song, but I'm happy that you don't have to sing the marriage equality song anymore because we have it. But yeah, y'all have really been a light to me in that way. And I think that you have to others as well who feel perhaps a deep sense of shaming or some kind of trauma, due to their sexual orientation. So thank you so much for being that.
Thank you. Thank you. My goodness, you have us in tears, sweetheart. That's our prayer, and
tears are streaming down my face hearing you say that, and I'm just so touched and so moved. That's really where our heart was. I think more than anything was, traveling all over the States and the world and experiencing the trauma that especially queer folks have experienced, and their spirit has been denied them, or was denied them. I think it's getting better now, but so much we were feeling from people that they could not be queer and spirit filled or loving, kind, pure.
Yeah,
Couldn't be
like
pure.
You couldn't have an anointing or you couldn't have a ministry for God because of who you were inclined to love. You know what I mean? And you all just totally blasted that notion out of the water for me. I mean, I felt more anointing from you all than I had felt in 90% of the churches that I grew up in. And it's a blessing that you all have that church background as well, because that helps you relate to people who have been through, church experiences and things like what I went through.
Yeah,
So
kudos to all of you all. I mean, all of us come from that churchy Pentecostal-y background, and all of us are LGBTQ, IA plus, P plus, whatever they keep adding letters. I'm just like, well, I don't know what the letters are anymore.
I like your
many colors in the homo.
Many colors in the homo spectrum. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Queerdos, as we call them, as I call myself. But thank you for everything you've done for our community, and same with Nick Payne, man. Same.
And same for Jen Yates. Yeah. For these alliances of our hearts and spirits and intention to make a difference in our community and in our on our planet, and so we're so thankful to be in alliance with you all, making a difference out, in the.
I want to thank you, Nick, and everyone out there who has been supporting Freedom Park and Breonna Taylor and
big announcement today.
Community. Yeah.
Nick has been on the forefront of that. Yeah, and I know you guys are very passionate about that. Did you see the announcement that came earlier?
That the settlement's been reached.
Yeah, in the civil case. Yeah, and the other one supposedly is going to the grand jury.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it's become my activism has just been showing a moment of just taking a moment of silence, really going into that space and just trying to harness and visualize love and kinship between everyone, so that we don't have to see things like this happen, because we're not really meant to live this way with one another, and we're not meant to be inflicting this kind of pain. And really, that's what happens when you go down to the park and you see folks who are there who are maybe volunteering. They have Black Lives Matter shirts, and they might be medics, and they're helping out. And then maybe you have some of our unhoused brothers and sisters from around downtown Louisville, and they'll be hanging, kind of doing something. And you might see a parent with a kid making a sign, and it's not any one particular thing that we have to go down there and do, but it's just showing up for one another and just really, having that look in your eyes that says, I love you and I have your back.
Yeah,
and
you're anchoring in love right there in that space. That's so important, so valuable.
Yeah, and I'm downtown almost every day, and I'm up and down, Liberty there by the Justice Square Park. And if you haven't seen the awesome banners that they've added, the Breeway ones, those are beautiful and cool. And there's always people down there, doing something, you know what I mean? I drive by it every day.
Something else that Jen and I have been trying to cultivate, and we've been working around the weather, but just having a lot of opportunities for outdoor music, where we can socially distance with folks. I've taken
circles?
The drum circles.
Circle, sacred circle. I've taken instruments downtown and just kind of played for myself, and then inevitably, you encounter someone who is having a special day or they're on a date, and you get to share some love and some music with them. So I think we've both been trying to do our part to just, put some more music out.
Yeah, because music is the healing force of the universe. We are placed here to heal people through music. I feel like all of us here, all four of us, are semi-anointed in that sense where we can give that to the public.
Very
so
anointed.
yes, we do it for
Dripping with
ourselves.
honey. You are dripping with it.
Dripping. I love a dripping. Yeah. You know me.
Music is a universal language, and we've traveled to 14 countries, a lot of them non-English speaking, and music always is a way to connect and co-create. I mean, and coexist. I mean, it is kind of the great equalizer. It's amazing, and it reaches
really is.
out. It reaches out. Well, that's what we are. We're light and we're vibration. I mean, that's what we are. We are sound. We are musical instruments just by being. So people can understand and connect to that in a way beyond words.
Yeah, and I wanted to tell this little story about music because I learned this in a music theory history class. And basically, music is the only thing that has stopped war. Did you know that? And here's why. I believe it was 1814. I may have the date wrong, but it was a war overseas between the Germans and the British. And the Germans were down in the trenches. It was around Christmas time. It was a sacred time. And basically, they started singing, I believe it was Oh Holy Night, or maybe Silent Night. It was Silent Night. They started singing it from the trenches.
Oh, yes, I've heard this. I love this.
And then the British soldiers started singing it with them. And they all agreed, no matter what their hierarchy wanted them to do, to put down their weapons, and they celebrated by having food and music. Those are the two things that if we leave politics and religion and everything else out of it, if we just eat together and we play music for one another, we can always find something to relate to.
Common ground. I believe it. Need more of that, don't we?
Yes, we do. Troops, I want to spin the song Still Here because it's one of my favorites too, and it kicks off the very end of the record. Can you talk a little bit about why you wrote Still Here?
Well, we were helping a friend who was recovering from cancer, and we were helping another friend who was surviving a surprise end of a long-term relationship. And there's a lot of endings and kind of devastation in a way around us. And people were just feeling kind of lost, but yet still present, And so basically our assignment at Divinement for them was, how are you still here? What life do you have? What are you connected to in this life? And so it was a song about, what you've been through and what things are not going to be able to do. So this was a song of encouragement of, let's celebrate that here you are. You've made it, and you're still here.
Yeah. It empowers me when I hear it. Not only do I want to crank it up because the drums.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, the drums in it.
God. The intro on this song. Oh my God.
Yeah, can we just talk about that intro before we spin it? Because I just got real excited because I love to talk drums.
Yes.
They had come to me with this song, and I was like playing around with all these different ideas, and I was like, when I find the right one, it'll just feel right to me, right? Everything has to feel right. And I remember we had a couple practice sessions, one at Mom's Music to kind of just run through like tempos where we wanted to set speeds, all this stuff, and kind of get structure down for myself and arrangement. And then we had another rehearsal once we got to Asheville, North Carolina to record this Valentine's Day weekend. And I remember looking at you, and it finally hit at Mom's. I was like, Kim, what about toms on this? Like a tom groove of some sort that's like a shuffle, like a triplet-based tom intro. And they were like all about it. Oh, yeah, I like that. And I was like, me too. And it felt right. And that's what we ended up capturing on this recording. And we want to give kudos to Jason Richmond, the producer on this. Yeah, tell me real quick how you ended up with him.
Well, we went online and we went in search of people who were, engineers that actually work in our genre, specifically with harmonies too. And we looked up Appalachia Rising, and so we went in search of someone, and had quite a few people, we were considering. And then, he listened from the very beginning in our correspondence. We could just tell him. We figured if he listened to us at that stage of the game, he was going to be a good listener in the studio. And as you know, working with him, Jen, he was amazing.
Yes.
And
he has, he's Grammy nominated. He just recorded the Avett Brothers again, and he really
Carolina
knows.
Chocolate Drops too. I looked at his resume and it was really good, and I loved every band that he had worked with.
Yeah, and he takes a real organic approach to everything as far as like analog and real sound. That's why it's all live, and it is recorded on analog technology. So, we were just like, he's kind of our dream guy.
Yeah.
And that studio that he recommended that we use was like a church. Are you kidding? And it was
right. That's where we met. So the whole thing, and you know how easy he was to work with as far as being a producer, how just really helped bring out the best in each of us to make this album.
It sounds so pure.
It does. It is very pure the way they recorded it. And one thing I loved being a drummer is they had all these vintage drums. I'd brought my drums with me, but they had all these vintage drums. They had a vintage drum room in the basement, right? Meanwhile, Amy's in the game room playing like Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man or something like that, and Galaga. They had all these like arcades and a pool table and like fun stuff to do while you were there, like waiting for people to track.
Yeah.
So I go into the drum room and they're like, just choose whatever you want. And I have always wanted a Black Beauty Ludwig vintage snare drum because they are one of the most recorded snare drums in the history of music and very sought after. And if you have like 70s and back, because my dad's a vintage drum collector, then, you got your hands on a really nice piece of equipment that's very expensive and sought after. So there they have one. And I'm like, well, screw my snare drums. I'm going to use this vintage Black Beauty. Yeah. And they had all these beautiful mics and everything, all around the kit. So literally if you took a breath, you heard it, But just the way that this intro was captured was really interesting. And I really dug the groove. And I love that the troops just let me have fun and throw washboards or mark trees. I'm always like, hey, let's put a triangle hit for a star, or just simple things like that. Yeah, y'all let me be as creative as possible. So we're going to spin that track, and it's called Still Here. It's the Troubadours of Divine Bliss off of Every Heartbeat here on LRS102.com.
I'll show you I can. Hold your head up, keep your chin up, don't give up, don't give in. Don't get depressed, get determined. Don't get depressed, get determined. I'll be alright. Oh, I've been through the fire, I've seen the light, staring into the eye of the storm. Shouting to saying, down to praying, despairing to believe I'll be alright. Oh, I've been through the fire, I've seen the light, staring into the eye, the storm. The fruit of the tree. my heart escapes the bars of its cage. My soul shouts when it feels its wings stretch out. Just talk back and taunting and haunting me with what I think I like. Then exploded, cried till I was blue. Still had to come to my own rescue. I don't have to lead, I can let it go, let it flow, lose control. Trust where it's taking me is where I need to go. I'll be alright. Oh, I've been through the fire, I've seen the light. Staring into the eye, so here, I'm here, I'm still here, I'm here. My soul shouts when it feels its wings stretch out. I'm still here. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I am rooted deep, but reaching for the stars. Everything I need is in me. Take me far. I'm bolder than I know, wiser than I show, more mighty than I seem, more worthy than I believe. Be wise, be true, be good, be fierce, be free. Free your dream and your destiny. All women, all men, all girls, all boys, be loving. Step up, sing out, stand out, dance wild. Live it, give it, dream and scheme. All women, all men, all girls, all boys, be loving. Make something beautiful of our lives. Fill the shadows with the light. Fulfill the purpose of our lives and be loved. And be loved. There is something wonderful within us, shining, unique souls full of stardust, here to show off God's imagination, here to be our ultimate creation. Be wise, be true, be good, be fierce, be free. Free your dream and your destiny. All women, all men, all girls, all boys, be loving. Step up, sing out, stand out, dance wild. Live it, give it, dream and scheme. All women, all men, all girls, all boys, be loving. Make something beautiful of our lives. Fill the shadows with the light. Fulfill the purpose of our lives and be loved. And be loved. free your dream and your destiny. All women or men or girls or boys, be loved and step up, sing out, stand out, dance wild, live it, give it, dream and scheme. All women or men or girls or boys, be loved and make something beautiful of our lives. Fill the shadows with the light, fulfill the purpose of our lives, and be loved, and be loved. Let's make something beautiful of our lives. Fill the shadows with the light, fulfill the purpose of our lives, and be loved, and be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved, be
That is Make Something Beautiful. The Troubadours of Divine Bliss. Here on LRS102.com with my guest co-host and musical soul brother Nick Payne up in the house. Troobs, I love that one. You did a video on that one that's really cool that you can catch on YouTube. And I felt sorry for you because right as you put that out was the COVID. And here you are hugging everybody, you know, and everybody at the time didn't know, are we supposed to be hugging people, you know?
Right, right. Actually, people were watching it for therapy.
Yeah, they were.
Remember, it felt like to hug, you know.
Especially strangers.
Yeah, yeah. So it was pretty crazy timing, but it was so much fun to make that video, and thankfully it was made pre-COVID, kind of.
Well, not really. But
We just
It was
didn't know
literally
of
like
it.
right on the moment
Yeah.
that it happened.
Yeah. So, but I love that video, and I love that you're in it, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
Randy's in it, Mandy Brewer's in it. And one of my favorite scenes is when you do the coat flick, and you flick your coat open.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
the
had-
collar flick.
Yeah, I just gone to Ross with my mom. Ross is my Achilles heel. I
Dress
literally
for
spend
less.
dress for less for $100.
Shoes.
But I'd gotten this cool jacket,
God.
which I still have. It's like reflective, and I didn't even know y'all were gonna use that footage, but it was really cool. I love that too.
Well, we didn't even edit it, actually. It was a videographer out of North Carolina, Donnie Rex, who did that. And so he chose the scenes, and so I thought it was hilarious, and I loved it so much. And that video, it's really sweet. That song in that video has been getting a lot of play, and they just used it for the Ohio centennial of the women's right to vote. They included that song video.
Yeah.
And they also just played it in California at Santa Barbara Sanctuary Centers in honor of Recovery Month.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got cold chills again. Yeah.
Make something beautiful of your life. And so it's like, wow. I mean, I think of it in so many ways, but wow, with recovery, it's like super, super powerful right now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are struggling with that. So,
Myself
I hope-
included, you know, me and Nick Payne
Yeah.
both have fought that, you know, in our past. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very important to me to be a part of that because it's very special.
yeah. Well, I'm really excited. I mean, this CD is just, it's so powerful. It's so uplifting. It's so real and heart opening. And I'm just really thankful that we got an opportunity and just in time to get this CD out there. So, you know, you can get it on our website at Troubadours, and that's Troubadours of Divine, DIVINE, Bliss.com. And we are also on iTunes. But we don't do the streaming services because it really is a killer for independent music.
Truth, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very true.
so we keep it real. We keep it close to home. We really appreciate our loyal fans.
We make music for a living.
Yeah, this is how we've made our music, our living for 25 years is through music. So, you know, we do commission songs for people.
Yeah, I love that. Can we talk a little bit about the commission songs? Because a couple of the
Yeah.
songs on this record was a commission. What was it?
One
Fly
of-
Away?
Hey, Fly With Me was a commission song. Yeah.
That's an amazing thing. So if you want to buy a song like, let's say you've got a beautiful partner and you want a song, and you're not a musician, you can hire the Troubadours of Divine Bliss and tell them your story, and they will write and produce your song.
Yeah.
We love doing it so much, and we've actually done it for people's parents, for their pets, in honor of that love and that bond. You know, it's like there's so many different reasons. You know, you want to write a song or share a song with somebody, but it's so rewarding because you get the person's story, and then you also talk about like the style of music. You know, like what kind of music do you like, and what kind of music does the person you're writing it for like, and so then you kind of can explore it musically and also lyrically, and just kind of capture the story and the emotional connection. It's really I love doing it with those two.
You're so good at it too, capturing that emotional. I've worked with so many amazing songwriters in my day, all of you all included. But man, the ones that I admire the most, songwriting wise, because I was not born with that gift, but I feel like I get better as I keep doing it, is trying to capture that emotional, and pull that heartstrings. And you guys, you're like the Sarah McLachlan, like literally can just go there and make me cry on a whim, via song.
It feels good to cry. It feels good to be vulnerable. It's like,
well, I mean, we're here on one of the gifts of being on this planet is being able to feel, and it's a ride, it's all over the place. But I mean, can you imagine, how much it's just feeling has altered the whole course of our lives, and depending on how we heal those feelings, and reveal them. But I mean, so it's important to us to write songs that crack open, that space where people can let a little of that emotion out and in their own lives, express it.
Yeah. And we've talked about this a lot, but everybody songwrites differently and pulls from influences from different places. Like, I use my music, my personal solo-y stuff, as therapy to myself. To, when I'm frustrated, how do I get that anger out? Then I sit and write about it. And then once I put it out there, it's gone. So for me, it's therapy to help me move through anger. And I've only grazed the surface of touching the sadness part, you know what I mean? But I've definitely gotten to do happy songs in the past, and they always make me happy to record. Me and Nick wrote
We got a song to write together, don't we?
Do what?
We've got a happy song to write together, don't we?
Yes, we do. We talked about that. I said, y'all are going to be my happy song.
Right.
Yeah, and I will say that Nick and I wrote the COVID hustle, which cracked me up. I was like, how are we writing a line dance about the COVID?
Yeah.
It was fun.
We try to keep it pretty positive in our messages, whatever we put out, and with the cover songs that we play live and stuff too. And, you all are really my mentors, my performance mentors in how to do that, in how to take a cover song that you didn't write, but sing it in your own way and find a song that fits the conviction of your heart that you can share, like when you all sing Everything is Holy Now, and everybody says, well, I thought that was a Troubadours song, because you sing it with such pure conviction from the soul. So,
and we covered the Troubadours of Divine Bliss in our live shows, the Kentucky Beatniks do.
I pretty much always have any chance that I get to sing a Troubadours song. I love to share them with other people, be it your recordings or I just sing it for them. And, Jen might not know this, but we have booked mutually to play at a wedding next summer. And I think you all know who I'm referring to.
Oh,
and
yes,
so it oddly
it's
enough,
mine. No, I'm joking.
Oddly enough, I had sang that this couple was having a really tender moment, and their hearts were really tender. And I was walking behind them, and they were, trying to find that sense of harmony together. And I just started singing "I'll Walk by Your Side," and I sang all the words. And they all came to my mind, and I didn't forget a single lyric. And I just sang it without any music, behind them quietly as we walked through New Orleans. And so that couple have asked me to perform that song at their wedding, but you guys are going to be there.
So you're performing the Troop song at their wedding?
Yeah. And I got to do that. I got to do that at y'all's vow renewal.
Oh, my gosh.
Too.
You always next level our music, honey.
Next
you
level.
really
Right back at you. Right
That
back
couple
at you.
shared that story with us, and that was just such a beautiful, we felt like we were right there in that moment, what a beautiful thing you did, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to also say, like I say, you're so anointed and magical. You're always just in the right moment for me when I need you there. You did the most beautiful cover of Elvis at my girl Sue Riley's funeral. Which was, I sat there front row and cried and cried and cried. And I didn't even know you all were playing that, but there you were again at the right moment. And then, of course, when we held She Castle for Beverly McClellan in honor of her, there you were again, just kicking it up. You're always there in the right moment, especially for me emotionally. When I emotionally need you, you're there.
Yeah.
It's an amazing
I'm so
thing.
glad. Oh, my gosh. That means everything. That's so beautiful. I love that. May we always be there right when you need us.
Yeah. Do you remember how we met, Troobs? I'm just curious. Do you remember how we met?
Oh, God. No.
No, it was all through the scene. I do remember one. I think I met you all at Women in the Field when Sarah Bettens of Kay's Choice was headlining the women's music thing here. I believe.
Okay.
I
Women
think,
in the Field.
Yeah, do you remember playing that? Do you remember and the Blue Umbrellas were on it? Most Wanted was on it. Tania Sanders, Leanne Yost.
Yeah, it was an all-female collaborative musical evening, and that's the first time I remember meeting you, too.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I met you. I literally was playing with like 6 different people that day, and I had Sarah Bettens, who is now Sam Bettens, on my radio show at the time to talk about that, and had gotten to meet her, which was a special moment. And then I think right after that, I actually played one of your really early CD release parties, but I was with a different band, The Confessional and the Blue Umbrellas, and I think that was like the second time meeting you at Uncle Pleasant's, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it went from there.
Oh, it's so awesome. It's so amazing how we're so connected in this community,
Yeah, it is. It is an amazing thing. And it's, we've all been around. I moved here in 99, so been playing music around here since about 99. So I don't know when I ran into you all in probably early 2000s, but it's been a special journey and ride.
Can I tell
That's
my
about
first...
when we came back to Louisville.
Yeah.
Can I tell my first place that I saw y'all? Was it was exactly like what I grew up in, the multi-purpose building with folding chairs, little makeshift stage, Pentecostal church, but it just so happened to be a gay Pentecostal church. And I walked in and I was stoned off my ass and I was going through so much darkness in my life, and y'all were singing Renee's Redemption, and you were right in the middle of it, building up. No man, no woman, no person, place, or thing will ever have that hold on me. I will exorcise you out of me. I will be free. And that was such a powerful way to be introduced to.
I just got cold chills on that, Nick.
Yeah.
We're going to church today. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. And by the way, Nick turned me on. So me and Nick, when we're hanging out, we'll have some fun, and we'll be going through your YouTube videos, and he'll show me all these like rare vintage ones that I've never seen before. And the butter your bread. Was it at Mama's Hip?
Butter your bread.
Butter your bread, wherever that one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
They did that on a
one.
recent episode of Sundays with Bliss, which if you're listening, make sure that you're tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, 7 p.m. on Sundays, Sundays with Bliss. You really should not miss it. It's very special.
Yeah, one of the best live streams in my opinion, musically.
Butter your bread. I had to give Jen a little give her a little Troubadour retrospective.
He's like the walking encyclopedia of everything Troubadour Divine Bliss. He literally is. And I love it. Every second of it. Troobs. Oh, we dropped their call. Oh, here they are again. Hey, Troobs, what's up?
All drop.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
I was
all right.
just about to ask you, who are some of your favorite songs to cover, like artist-wise? Because your covers are all over the place. Did we drop them again? Troobs, are you there? Hello. I guess we dropped them, man. Yes, but Nick, you are a walking everything encyclopedia.
I got a Troubadour encyclopedia till you get him back on the line.
Oh, we're going to call him back.
You have reached the voicemail box.
They have so many amazing covers, but I love they sing this version of Working on the Railroad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's really cool. It's their own. It's one of a kind.
Yeah. Is that the Troobs with us back? We're losing. Yeah, they're back. Me and Nick were just talking about our favorite covers that you all do. He said Working on the Railroad is one of his favorites.
Huh.
Isn't
That's so cool. That's an old American folk song that we learned from a Canadian, but I love that song too.
Yes.
Yeah, Troobs, out of all your travels, because you all travel overseas, you go on these long like tours and stuff, where are some of your favorite places and where do you get the biggest response overseas?
Well, it was really great in Ireland when we were there last. That they're just wonderful audiences.
England. I mean, really all over Europe. Really. I mean, Scandinavia.
Yeah. Honestly, European audiences are just awesome.
They are. The music is a well-respected art form, and especially diversity of music. You got to think about Europe and think about how you can go from one country to the next, and the genre is changing, right? And the flavors change. So we fit in perfectly because we can just do any of our music, and they're ready for it all. They don't need you to just stay in one genre or be mainstream. They welcome.
I love that. I want to play in Ireland. Nick, you want to play in Ireland?
Yes.
Let's go play in Ireland.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I guess our best response was we played an international music festival in Belfort, France, in the northern part of France, close to Switzerland and Belgium, and it was like 7,000 people at the base of a mountain in this village, and we got 3 encores.
Ooh.
And basically off stage was the next act coming up.
Is there a clip of that one online? Is that where y'all are doing stand-in?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's primo. That's grade A.
Yeah, that was really, really awesome. So, I mean, yeah, and on the streets, we can always play on the streets, and it's a great
they look at you with respect, not like, you're just out there and that's it.
Yeah, I
just think they're a bit more cultured, I gotta say. No offense to Americans, and we have great audiences here too, in Louisville and in Cleveland and throughout, but they're just very much ready for the experience, and they're in it.
And the diversity, and you can be as unique as you want to be, and you don't scare anybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, one thing that I really loved about you all from the get-go was that you kind of had that New Orleans street performance background to you, down in New Orleans, if you've been, you know that there's street performers everywhere, and they're top notch. I've seen kids with saxophones at age 6 blowing everybody out the water, and it's just a different experience. It's a different experience when you can stand on a street corner in a random city playing music and get tipped and people to stop and respond to you. And me and Nick have done this before too in Bardstown Road in the Highlands and downtown and all kinds of different places. But I love that about your background, that New Orleans folky background. And didn't you all win some kind of award down there in New Orleans?
Yep. Voted best folk band by Offbeat magazine down there when we were. and we've been awarded that by Leo a few times.
As well as Best Singer-Songwriter by the Louisville Music Awards. So,
So we're, for those acknowledgments, they're very nice. More than anything, they're really helpful for your press kit.
Yeah, no shit. That's funny. I was just talking about you when we dropped the call. We were talking about how much of an encyclopedia of Troubadours of Divine Bliss Nick Payne's brain is. I mean, he is a walking.
I just answered some questions for y'all while you weren't able to.
Oh, yeah. He's going to write the unauthorized biography.
Oh, I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. Well, Troobs, I tell you what, remind everybody one more time, where can they go get the record? Where can they see your live shows? I know right now we're in this weird moment of COVID, and we're trying to all figure it out. Also, remind them about your Sunday live shows and everything you've got coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So, Troubadours of DivineBliss.com.
And that's spelled I-am-a-T,
I-am-a-T-R, I-am-a-T-R-O-U-B-A-D-O-U-R, and I-am-B-L-I-S-S, H-E-A-R-T, and
D-I-V-I-N-E-S, a troubadour should be.
So, Troubadours of DivineBliss.com. Facebook.com/Troubadours of Divine Bliss, and then on YouTube, YouTube.com/Divine Bliss.
That's right. On Sunday nights, we've got an hour-long show every week, 7
Days with Bliss, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's music, it's blissful banter, but it's from the heart, and we welcome everyone, and we love to connect.
You can get our music on our website, troubadoursofdivinebliss.com, and on iTunes. We are available for commissioned songs for the holidays if you would like a gift. We really appreciate you supporting our music by tipping on Sunday nights and buying our music. And we'll hopefully have a Christmas album or some singles coming out.
Yeah, excited about the Christmas album. I love the holidays. Ho, ho, ho. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we're so grateful. And we also
love you guys so much.
Well, we love you back, and we're huge fans.
I like you live.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see you all play live again or get to play live with you again, because we've been in this weird, hey, let's play via the internet together kind of stuff going on.
That day will come, and we look forward to it too, sweetheart.
Yeah, me too. Well, we're gonna wrap up this interview, and we're gonna finish out the rest of the day by spinning the rest of the record. Make Something Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Every Heartbeat is the name of the record. I keep saying Make Something Beautiful, but that's the single solo video that came out with it. Yeah.
Hey, thank you too so much for all you do for music, for this community, for people's hearts and souls. Thank you for shining your light so bright. We're so honored to know you, to make music with you, and to call you friends. Thank you, and long live LRS102.com.
Yeah, long live the Walrus, the oldest rock station in Louisville, Kentucky since 1964. Woo! Can you believe that?
Yes.
Man, I love that.
Thank you all for talking with us today and sharing your heart with everyone and sharing your music and sharing your lives so willingly. There's never been a time that I've ever seen anyone reach out to y'all that you haven't given 150%. So thank you all for all that you mean to each and every one of us, and for continuing to make music and just create.
Pave the way. Pave the way.
Love. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do want to mention before we start playing the song, let's all just have a collective breath for our sister Amaraj. Who passed this week. And, we were talking about people who've been examples, good mentors in the LGBT community. And I was fortunate enough to encounter some of Amaraj's activism and the groups that she would lead, helping people who were living with HIV, and just different things that she did to create awareness and to create positivity and love for ourselves within our community. So, just a shout out to her, and
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I also wanted to say the same. I wanted to take a moment for Amaraj today because what a special blessing to this world and this Louisville LGBTQ community. If you didn't know who she was a social worker, also a trailblazer in trans rights and HIV education here in the city, and literally fought every day and was a bright, bright, bright soul. And
one of the best drag queens at the Connection.
yes, I was sneaking in there watching her on a fake ID when I was like 16, you know, and you know, I got to spend last year's Pride with her in the VIP section. So we sat at the same table. We had a lot of these experiences together and talked for a very long time, and had run into her in the past when she was with the Derby City Sisters and attended some events and really got to know her. And she was always sending me private messages online encouraging me to keep drumming, and she was a big fan, and you know, just very special, very special. So sad loss for our community.
Yep.
Yes.
It certainly is, but what a light and what a torch.
And that's what will continue. Like, you know, she led the
Yes.
way.
She made a ripple throughout so many hearts in this community.
Yes, and her legacy will always live on through us,
That's
through
right.
the community, you know. So anyway, Troobs, thank you so much for coming on the show today on LRS. We really appreciate and love you from the bottom of our heart.
Oh, wait, I got just one last question for y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
How dare you be so amazing?
Be so
Sorry,
amazing.
I'm just goofing with y'all. How dare y'all be so amazing? How dare you? How dare you?
Queens.
You know,
I'm
it
just
Queen.
messing with
takes
you.
one to know one.
Ah,
Yes.
2 snaps and a twist, Nick
Queen.
Payne. Yeah. Oh, Troops, thank you so much. We love and admire you. I will be wearing this record out as my family and friends that I've given it to. By the way, I've given away all my physical copies because everybody
well,
I
we-
knew wanted one.
Gotta hook you up.
Yeah, hook that
We
up. I would
you
love
so
it.
much.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming
We
on the
love
show
you.
today. And I'm going to finish it out with playing the La La song because I really love that one. Ooh, la, la, la. All right, it's the Troubadours of
Sing it
Divine
loud.
Bliss. See you soon, my sisters. Stay lovely as always. We love the Troobs. Here's the La La song. Troubadours of Divine Bliss from every heartbeat. You're locked on to LRS102.com.
Go for a walk, get some fresh air, try to smile, say something kind to a stranger if one happens by. Always exercise your heart's knowing. Might as well attempt something real along this path. Take your spouse or your sweetheart in your arms, where you did when you first met. The way you did when you first met. Way you did when you first met. La 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 la. La 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 la. May you find yourself speaking new languages, expanding the circle of your tribe. Find you smile when you look in the mirror and laugh more when you're waiting in long lines. Well, look up at the infinite, feel your place in it. Look up at the infinite, feel your place in it. Let the stars walk you home and the moon kiss you goodnight. Stars walk you home and the moon kiss you goodnight. Stars walk you home and the moon kiss you goodnight. La 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 la. La 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 la. dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, all things can be mended. Now with time, as they say, with intention. So go love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. Broken world waits in the darkness for your light. Broken world waits in the darkness for your light. Broken world waits in the darkness for your light. La 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 la. La 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 la. Everybody, la 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 la. Down by the clear blue water, down beneath the big oak tree, down beneath the canopy of the tulip and shagbark hickory, deep in the mossy woods, deep where the wild ferns grow, deep by the spring-fed creek, gonna find myself, resurrect my soul. Deep by the spring-fed creek, gonna find myself, resurrect my soul. Holy temple, made by the hands of the Most High, sacred earth, nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Lost all my worries, lost all track of time, lost in the revelry of the imagination of the divine, steeped in the evergreens, steeped in silence old as time. Where the wind sighs through the pines, I'm gonna find my peace of mind. Where the wind sighs through the pines, I'm gonna find my peace of mind. Holy temple, made by the hands of the Most High, sacred earth, nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Our story was torn in two, one part given to me, other to you. No time, no absence has kept my heart from you, 'cause I know you hold me. 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 'Cause I hold you. I've so many memories I don't want I know what has been given and my heart will be kept. Our story doesn't end there. Where did it go? I lost out on half my soul. You flew like an arrow and I was broken. But I miss your face. I miss the space. This just our place. I miss your embrace. I know you would have stayed if you could. Life would have been so different, would have been so good. Your spirit lives within me. I still know your grace. I hear your laughter. I sing your song. I feel your poetry. I miss your face. I miss the space. This just our place. I miss your embrace. Our story was torn into one part given to me, other to you. No time, no absence has kept my heart from you. 'Cause I know you hold me. 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 So I hold you. I'm finally saying the words my heart has dared not say. Can't let our story be told without a refrain. Our music, do you hear it? No longer hid away. Flowers in the heart do not have to close. In this garden only we know they're still blooming. I miss your face. I miss the space. This just our place. I miss your embrace. Our story was torn into one part given to me, other to you. No time, no absence has kept my heart from you. 'Cause I know you hold me. 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 Hold me. 'Cause I hold you. 'Cause I know you hold me. 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 Hold me. So